Welcome to EduTech 2021. My name is Amanda Frampton and I'm a Learning Delivery Specialist from Microsoft Education, and I'm here to talk to you today about using Windows to bring some creativity into your classroom. So my details there for Twitter at @amframp are available to you if you would like to reach out in relation to this session for any information, or just if you need any other support in terms of embedding Microsoft tools into your curriculum. So let's get started. I'd like to start today's session with a big question in terms of how can tools that allow students to virtually manipulate objects actually enhance creativity and improve learning. So I guess it's a bit of a no-brainer that when we do start to incorporate new realities into the curriculum, it's going to engage, it's going to be fun, and it's going to make learning pop. But we need to think about that a little bit more specifically. So first of all, what are the new realities that we have at our fingertips in terms of engaging students in 3D in their classrooms? So the first one is obviously virtual reality. Virtual reality is really popular, but it does and it can require a quite extensive setup because you need devices to run, powerful devices to run the virtual experiences, and you may need headsets and hand tools to help students navigate their world that they are immersed in. So virtual reality is when you are wearing a headset and you have no idea what the outside world is like because you are just immersed in this 3D world. The second way that we're seeing reality incorporated, or new reality incorporated into learning, comes from the consumer world initially, and it's things like it's augmented reality. So it's like overlay, so using a screen to actually overlay something onto you. So filters and lots of fun things like that. I think the third and most powerful reality that we can introduce into our classroom that will make abstract concepts quite concrete for our students is this concept of mixed reality, where we are actually taking a 3D object and we are putting it into the environment that we exist, okay, into our environment. So it's blending the digital world with our physical world. We would need a screen or a headset to look through to access that object, but we can manipulate it and we can interact with that object, which is really, really exciting. We have a piece of software on our Windows 10 devices that actually allows you to build models or access models and view them in mixed reality. So let's take a look at that software and how it can be used to enhance instruction, assessment, and learning in your classroom. It's called Paint 3D. You may have heard of it before, and I'll show you very shortly how to access it. But it's a great tool because it's cross-curricular. It makes learning three-dimensional. It allows you to create authentic assessment tasks because students can build things, okay? It's a tool for creative expression. It helps students build their own learning to make abstract concepts concrete. It increases their spatial awareness. Later when I show you the chicken activity, you'll be like, okay, students will definitely need spatial awareness to be able to construct something like that. And it encourages their planning and problem solving skills as well. And it's fun and engaging. So there's 9 reasons why you could or should be using this software in your classroom. So getting started with Paint 3D, let's put it into context. Imagine you're a Year 3 teacher and you're doing a science unit on adaptations and environments, and you want the students to create an animal and show some adaptations that it might need to have in order to meet the ever-changing nature of its environment. So, we could do that in a number of different ways. The students could draw their animal, they could write a passage about their animal, they could possibly build it out of clay, but we might not have, clay and time and resources like that at hand, but we've got our devices. So we can use Paint 3D to actually build a animal like this. So I'm going to show you a simple example of how that can be done in Paint 3D in the next slide. So here we're accessing Paint 3D for the first time. We head into our Windows Start menu and we search for Paint 3D and we open up the application. You can start new projects or open existing ones, and you can see that when we open up we get a canvas and a whole heap of or a menu up the top there with a whole heap of different features. So we have 2D shapes that we can insert. So we can use Paint 3D just like we used to use Paint 2D, but the beauty of it comes in that we have got a whole heap of objects that are three-dimensional in here that we can work with as well. We can change the canvas, move the canvas around, and access the existing bank of 3D objects in the 3D library as well. So today I'm going to adapt a little pig. So I've gone to my 3D library here and I've actually inserted a 3D pig into our environment. You can see when we first insert an object, we get some handles up around that object, which will allow us to manipulate it in the 3D environment. So we can rotate on a 360 circle axis. We've got the X plane there, we've got Y and Z axis. That was the Z axis, but we can move our pig around in that environment. Now we want to work on adding some little adaptations to our pig. So I'm going to go into the 3D shapes and I'm going to use one of the tools at the top there called the 3D Doodle Soft Edge tool. So what this tool allows me to do is to draw an object either with my stylus. You're going to get more precision if you have a stylus, but you can draw with your finger as well. You draw an object in 2D and as you can see, it will actually transform it into a 3D object, okay? And you can see that I can rotate that wing now. It's gone like sort of puffy like a cloud. That's how I like to talk about the doodle tool, the 3D Doodle Soft Edge tool. It makes it puffy like a cloud, and you can increase the width of your shapes if you'd like to and manipulate those in the environment. And the whole idea then would be to merge this shape that we have created with our existing 3D model. So we just move that around in the different planes, and we're copying that now so that we can give our pig symmetrical wings, and we're going to do the same with the other wing, manipulate it so that we can merge that with the existing 3D shape of the pig. Once we have a play with this and we get our wings in the correct position that we're after, we can select all and we can group all of those objects together. So if you've used PowerPoint before and you've done any grouping, this process should be fairly familiar. And you can see that once we turn, we might need to adapt or alter our pig so that we get its shapes, its wings in exactly the right space. But voila, just by using a little tool, drawing in 2D, we now have a pig with three-dimensional wings, which is pretty cool. So that's sort of the first stage in a bit of a transition in terms of building skills in Paint 3D, is using an existing model and adapting it. The next thing that we can do is we can start with a blank canvas and we can create our own creature, okay? So we can use the existing primitive shapes to be able to do that. So let's take a look at this demo on how you can create a chicken using primitive 3D shapes.
Okay, this demo is just going to show you how you can create your own 3D objects using primitive shapes. Now in the 3D shapes toolbar, you'll see that you have some standard kind of like objects here, but you also have things like the tube brush tool, the soft edge doodle tool, and the sharp edge doodle tool, and they let you create your own 3D rendered shapes as well. So if we were going to create a chicken head, I am just going a 3D chicken head. I'm going to make the chicken gold and I'm going to insert a sphere onto my page. So I just use my stylus there to create that sphere. Now using my primitive 3D shapes, I want to give my chicken a beak. So this time I'm going to use a cone and I'm going to pop that one into our environment. Now that's not looking much like a chicken at the moment, so I need to move this chicken around and change the orientation of this cone, bring it forward in the Z axis to enable me to see that cone here with molded with the sphere like a chicken's beak. Okay, now we need to give our chicken a comb. Now in our 3D shape library, there's nothing that exists that will help us with a cone. So I'm going to use the soft edge tool here, and all I'm going to do is with my stylus on my screen, you can obviously use your finger as well, but create a shape that is similar to a chicken's comb. And then you can see here that the soft edge doodle tool will actually render that 2D shape into a 3D shape. I'm then just going to make this a little bit wider by using my manipulation tools around my 3D shape when I do this here, and then I can rotate this shape into place and actually merge it onto the chicken. Okay, so I can select all there, and then rotate this to see if I've got it down, and then I can actually move this down to into place for my chicken there. The last thing that we need are some eyes for our chicken. I could just draw those on, but I'm going to use the sticker effects here and use some of these eyes that already exist. So when you're creating 3D objects, a lot of it's going to be about stamping these eyes onto the space, and you can see that they take the shape of the 3D object as well, so you can stamp those on, and then you can drag this over into your toolbar, which is kind of like your trash can as well. And the last thing you do to keep him all together is you would select all and group that so that you've got your beautiful chicken head created for export.
Now, if you let your students loose with Paint 3D and you show them a few tips and tricks, they can create wonderful, wonderful things. So it can be used, you know, as a writing prompt where they create a creature and then they write about it. It could be used as a way to create an ergonomic chair for a design and technology subject. But the imagination is really the only limit here because it is an open-ended canvas. The other thing that you can do in Paint 3D as well is that you can create some custom stickers. So let's have a look at another demo in how you can create a custom sticker, in this case of your face, and take yourself, for instance, into space.
Another thing that you can do in Paint 3D is actually use the Magic Select tool to edit photos, but also to create your own stickers. So you would have seen in the last demo I used the sticker bank here to add eyes to my chicken. But what I'm going to do in this instance is create a sticker of my face and add it onto a 3D object. So what I would do is import my photo in using the insert tool in the menu over here. And once I've got that in, I can use the Magic Select tool here, and it actually gives me a idea of how to use it over here in this menu bar. So I'm just going to drag into the area I'd like to Magic Select, and you can see that's pretty crazy, but I can actually then use my stylus or my finger to add in the areas that I would like or remove some of the areas too. So you can actually be quite precise with this in terms of how you would like it to remove areas. And obviously I don't want it to cut out my eyes, so I'm going to color those in as well, but I'm just going to then remove a little bit of my neck and chin down the bottom there and hopefully you can get that working quite well. And for the sake of this activity, I will just allow that. Now, I'm going to leave autofill background on, and I'm going to show you what actually happens when you use the Magic Select tool, because it can actually help you edit photos. So if you wanted to remove something completely from a photo, it will autofill the background for you using artificial intelligence as well. But what we want to do is actually make my face a sticker. So when we've selected that and we've got our manipulation tools up around, we're going to click on Make a Sticker. Okay, and then we can actually add in a 3D shape. So I'll just do a sphere for now to show you how this works. And then I would head into my stickers. and grab this sticker here, and I can then actually stick that sticker on to that sphere, and then when I rotate that sphere, you can see that my face has actually taken the shape of that 3D object as well. So in the next slide, you'll see that I've taken myself into space using this sticker feature as well.
So let's have a look at that. Here I am as an astronaut. I used an astronaut 3D shape from the Paint 3D library and stamped my face onto that shape. Now, it looks pretty cool and pretty engaging and can make PowerPoints that little bit more engaging for students as well. Now I've tried to sort of show you how you can start simple and use an existing 3D model and then manipulate it. And then if you wanted to, you could create a bit of a 3D scene by using lots of 3D models, or you could start with a blank canvas and get students creating from primitive 3D shapes. But it leads us all of these lead us to the point where we can export our model for viewing, and we can do that in a number of different ways. So I'm going to take you through a couple of those now. So first of all, we can use the 3D Viewer app that's part of Windows 10 to actually view our models in mixed reality, and we can actually record us interacting with those models as well. We can also insert our models into PowerPoint and manipulate those. We can use existing models from the 3D library in Windows to actually add some effects, 3D effects, into our videos. And you can also use our friend the Merge Cube, which is kind of like a QR code that sits in the environment where you can attach some 3D objects to that so students can manipulate them in their hands as well. And then of course you have the opportunity to either print your 3D paint creation or view it using a headset. But let's have a look at the 3D viewer and how you can use that to interact with a 3D model that you have made.
So as you can see, I have used the mixed reality viewing button straight from Paint 3D here to take my little piggy into the 3D Viewer app, which allows me to have him in the same shot and in the same environment as myself. And I can manipulate him and give him a little explanation about his adaptations that I've created, and use the video function in here as well.
Another program that students love to build in is Minecraft Education Edition, and it allows students to build in 3D as well, just using cubic blocks or blocks at least. And you can actually export objects from the Education Edition using a structure block and use the 3D app to actually view these in mixed reality as well. You can even import them into Paint 3D and alter those Minecraft models in Paint 3D as well. But here's an example of how students could use Mixed Reality Viewer or the 3D Viewer to explain a build that they've created in Minecraft Education Edition.
You can see this is the Minecraft forest cottage that I have created and exported. And if I rotate it around this way, you can see some of the detail that I've included in this. I've given it some windows.
So students are actually loving this feature of Minecraft Education Edition, and you know, it allows you it opens up another reality, I guess, in terms of Minecraft in the real world, which is cool. A really simple way to use 3D models to engage students in their learning is by inserting some of the existing ones that we have into PowerPoint. So here is an existing animated 3D model of a bee that I've put into this PowerPoint slide. It adds pizzazz to your presentation, but not only that, if I actually pop out of slideshow mode, I can play with this bee and I can actually manipulate it, and I can pan and zoom. So you could be talking to the students in the context of a mini beast unit, and you can't really get a bee to examine this close, but you could actually use the 3D model and then allow the students students to rotate this, count how many legs it had, count how many body parts it has, etc. And it's almost like having a giant size bee in front of them, which is super cool. You can also export again from Minecraft and add those 3D models into PowerPoint and manipulate those within PowerPoint. You could add labels, you could get the students to present their build in this way and accompany their 3D model in the PowerPoint slide with some explanations and reasoning behind, you know, why they built their house in that way or whatever they're building in Minecraft. The other way, obviously, is to import or little models that you've created yourself in Paint 3D. So here's my little pig, okay, and we've got him now in our PowerPoint slide, and we can manipulate him and do whatever we'd like with him in PowerPoint as well. Just to let you know, it's not only PowerPoint that you can add 3D models to, you can also add them to Word and Outlook. So next time you're sending an email, if you've got Office 365 Plus, then pop a 3D object in there for a bit of engagement. The next one that I wanted to talk to you about is the Merge Cube. So the Merge Cube is obviously a little foam cube that we can purchase, and it allows you to attach a 3D object to it, okay? So you would do this by popping to the mergevr.com site, logging in, and you can see here that you can log in with a Microsoft account, so it's single sign-on, and then you can upload your 3D model that you've exported from Paint 3D or from Minecraft and load it onto the Merge Cube, and it allows you to look through a screen and to see that object actually attached to the Merge Cube and allow students to rotate that object around in their hand or around the environment using the Merge Cube. So it's sort of like a tag for that object, which is super cool and super fun. And the Merge Cube has a whole heap of pre-made learning activities, okay, that attach to it as well. So you can dissect a frog using the Merge Cube, you can, you know, view the solar system. There's a whole heap of them, which allows you to bring new realities into your classroom sort of at a consumption level as well, which is really exciting. So what I wanted to show you next is the way that you can pop 3D objects into videos using the video editor app that is available in Windows 10. So let's have a look at this demo.
Hello, my name is Amanda Frampton and I'm coming to you with some breaking news live from my home office. Paint 3D and Video Editor are available free to you on a Windows device to use to unleash creativity with your students.
So I just realized I should have let the breaking news 3D object kind of rotate for a little bit longer in the video, but you get the idea. There's a number of existing 3D shapes, but that's a great way to just, use video in a really different way and have some 3D effects in that video as well. What else can Video Editor do though? We used to have Movie Maker. It's not around anymore. The replacement, I guess, is Video Editor, and it's free on a Windows 10 device, and it's going to meet all of your photo and video editing needs and allow you to, you know, create your own movies with custom narration, with custom music, multimodal with videos and photos, 3D effects, and also allow you to create automatic videos from collections of photos as well. So let's have a quick look at what Video Editor has to offer.
Video Editor is an app that's built into Windows 10, so you can search for it in your Start menu and open up the app. And you can see here that your photos collection on your PC is actually built into this app as well. So you'll be able to pull any photos that you have on your device into your video projects and videos. And you can also import photos from connected devices. But if you've got a tablet 2-in-1, you can take the video or photos straight onto the device and use them in your video editor as well. So I've got one project in here called Queensland, but I'm going to start a new project here. And I can then start to add some of the images that I would like to use in my storyboard. As you can see, I get my video project library up the top here, and I get my storyboard to work in and my preview all in one window. So first of all, I'll need to name my video. Okay, and then I can go about adding some of my photos. So I can add from my PC, I'm going to add from my collection, you can add from the web as well, and I've got a whole heap of photos in an album in here called Queensland. So I'm going to bring that album up and select some of the photos that I would like to pop into here, and then I can import those into my video. So some of those aren't actually Queensland, so I will just pop in these here as I go. You can select all, or you can select as you go, and then that's going to add your photos in. Once your photos have been added into your project library, you can place them all. If you've selected them all, you can place them all into the storyboard if you'd like to, or you can drag and drop as you would like. So I'm going to drag a couple of these in first, because we're going to start our our Queensland scenery tour on Fraser Island. So you can see that the storyboard is quite flexible. Once you've got some photos in there, you can play around with the duration that these are going to show for. You can add text, title caption to each one. You can add motion to each photo as well, and you can actually add in 3D effects and filters. So there's quite a lot you can do. But in the simplest form, I can actually put my title card in, and then I can edit my title card as well by adding some text into it. So if I click on it here, I can choose a theme, and I'm going to choose this adventure theme. So the first place I'm taking you is Fraser Island. Okay, done. And I can make sure that this title shows for the whole 3-second duration of this title card. And I can even change the background as well if I'd like to. So I might make it green today and add custom colors. If I want my photos to show for a little bit shorter, I can select them all, and then I can change the duration down to 2 seconds in bulk. But this one I'm just going to have a play with, and I'm going to add a filter to it. So I'm actually going to make sure that the duration of this one is just a little bit longer, and I'm going to add in one of our 3D effects to this one. So it's going to pull this in, and I'm going to pop in some bubbles overlay onto this picture. Okay, and we can move that around. And then when I click done, we can see that when we preview this part of our video, we've got some bubbles overlaying in that video as well. So it's really up to you how you customize your project, but that's it in a nutshell. You can actually view your project from the beginning in the preview toolbar on the side there as well, and then add to your project in terms of effects, filters. And the other thing I didn't talk about is that you can actually add in some background music or some custom audio as well. So really easily I could come here and select all of my photos, add background music to the whole video, and then when I actually preview that, you can see we've got music. You can add custom narration or video using your custom audio as well, and then when you're ready you can finish your video and you can actually export that in a couple of different video qualities depending on what you're going to be using that video for. So that's the video editor in a nutshell. There's lots you can do with it, and it's a really creative tool to have a play with, including that ability to add in 3D effects like I demonstrated earlier. Please look at the video tutorials and the quick start guide links that I've provided to you if you wanted to skill yourself up a little bit more in this application.
And as you can see, just a great one to have in the toolkit for creating quick videos, editing videos, because I didn't really do much of the video editing, but you could put a whole string of videos in there and trim them, split them, add them together, etc., and then export them as a final product. So, you know, as I said, there are a number of resources available on how to use this tool, and I will go through those for you now. So the bottom one there is the Introduction to Video Editor page on our Microsoft Educator community. Now, if you haven't come across our Microsoft Educator community, it's a brilliant online resource. It's got a whole heap of courses and resources in terms of how to use our product and how to embed them into the curriculum as well. So that link will take you to a whole heap of videos there. You can see one's coming up on editing videos, one's coming up on how to insert music, I think, and then there's a whole heap of other resources, including the quick start guide on that page as well. The other resource there is to do with Paint 3D. So there's a course on here which is an introduction to the software, and it'll take you through all of those key skills that you would need to be able to show your students, to allow them to create some pretty cool 3D objects. The only other thing I have for you today is a code. Here it is here on the screen, TAFAD5F321. You can use that on the Microsoft Educator community to get some credit for this session and work your way towards becoming a Microsoft Innovative Educator. So when you've logged in, up in your profile, in the drop down, there should be an option that says redeem code. Go in there, pop that code in, and as I said, you'll get some points towards becoming an Innovative Educator on the MEC site. So thank you very much for your time today. I hope that I've given you some inspiration on how you can get creative with Windows, and please feel free to reach out via the EduTech platform or via my Twitter handle, which is @amframp, if you would like to connect and find out more information about Video Editor or Paint 3D or any of our other products that I can help you embed into your curriculum. Thanks very much, and bye for now.